District breakdown time. Matt Diggs is joining us from his humble abode. We're going to talk a little 6-5A Division II. This is a big district with DISD and Mesquite Poteet. Talk about who you think is going to come out of there. Usually this is Sox district, but we'll see what you say.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I agree, it's Sox district, and I think it's Sox district by a lot. I think last year when you look at the results, it was kind of Sock and Poteet being pretty competitive. I think Poteet's going to be more competitive with what I consider the Tier 3 teams, which will be Kimball, Hillcrest, and Conrad. I think Conrad is really primed to step up and make a run for the playoffs. I think Hillcrest, and not because he's a Plano East guy, Jacob Ramon, former Plano East offensive line coach over there, not because of that. I actually went and toured the Hillcrest facilities, talked to them earlier this year. Plano East girls basketball had a game over there at Hillcrest. I think one of your folks went over there and covered that too. They're doing good things over at Hillcrest. A lot of the Dallas ISD schools are really doing good things, as you can kind of tell by the lack of turnover in the coaching staff. When you look at everybody, all the coaches are coming back in this district, and I think there's going to be a lot of experience, a lot of expectations. And I think even Spruce, Adamson, and Jefferson, which I kind of have as my lower tier schools, they're going to compete. I mean, with each other. Again, Sauk is so high up. I don't think we're talking about competing with them, but you never know in this district, and I think it's going to be a very competitive, especially from 3 to 9.
Now we talk about Sauk, and I mentioned to you a little earlier, they're losing 2 district MVPs offensively and defensively, but they just reload with guys, right?
They do. I mean, you got your quarterback coming back, and Coach Todd is probably just happy. It's like he has a comfort level, knowing that Kevin Henry Jennings is going to be back there behind center, doing his thing. They got some speed. They got some really fast players. The Muhammad twins, Akbar and Abdul, are just really speedy, really talented guys. Randy Reese coming back at wide receiver. And, of course, South Oak Cliff, they're going to have that trademark toughness on the defense. Billy Walton is a great defensive end. So Sauk has plenty coming back, and I think Sauk will be the team to beat. But there's a lot of players to talk about in this district. I think Conrad has some really sneaky good players coming back. I talked to Coach Ragsdale this week. He talked about a new guy coming up, Chris Lagarde, competing with Deontay McCoy, the linebacker, who is an all-district guy. They're going to be competing for a quarterback this year. And Conrad has everybody coming back on their offensive line and their defensive line. 4 of the 5 Conrad starters are going to be 4-year offensive line starters, which is almost unheard of in high school football. So talk about a continuity, teams that know each other. That's why I kind of have Conrad and Coach Ragsdale. He did great things with Adamson in his last DISD run. So, you put Coach Ragsdale on the map, you kind of watch that team a little closer because he's kind of charismatic coach who can take a team and lift them up. I also like Kimball. Kimball's got a lot of athletes. Donald Miles is a stud. Kyron Henderson, they're going to have that speed at wide receiver. Austin Daniels, offensive lineman, big guy. Kimball is going to be the size of the district. I think man for man, they could compete with Sauk as far as the big guys, but where I think Kimball is going to have a deficit is going to be the skill positions where Sauk is really going to shine.
All right, quickly, if I had to hold you to the fires, who's 2, 3, and 4 coming out of that district?
I'm going to take Poteet 2, Hillcrest 3, and Conrad 4. I think Kimball is going to be odd man out. But again, we could come back. But I would feel very confident on Sauk 1, Poteet 2, as far as those goes. But Hillcrest 3, Conrad 3, Hillcrest 4 will be my top 4.
Excellent. I appreciate you joining us. We're going to talk some 7-5A Division II after that. Next week, I should say.
We'll see you next week.